Welcome to Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? This is your go-to source for practical advice and support when considering if a divorce is the right answer for you. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll uncover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here is your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, the interview series. We're on day 4, and in case you hadn't checked out the previous 3 days, I'm going to recommend it, but just as a little synopsis here, we talk with a professional who assists those in getting through the divorce process, and sometimes it's at the beginning, sometimes middle, and at the end. And today we're with Gina Positano, and we're going to be talking about kind of towards the middle end as we transition into our own living spaces. And Gina is the owner of Gina Positano Design. And due to her life experience of traveling a lot through different countries and living in different spaces, and she just really got into and loving interior decorating, design work, organizational skills, and decluttering. So we got some great information at the beginning of the series on the decluttering. You're going to want to go back and listen to that because each day has a different set of questions. Welcome back to the show, Gina.
Thank you, Mike. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad today. The sun is shining, so I will take it.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. So after our last episode, I got to thinking more about kind of some of this inside the home and projects and things. And one of the things I thought about was, what's the best way to start a home design project?
Right. Yes, we mentioned yesterday about writing things down, that kind of thing. You can start by clarifying your vision and your goals, and also the budget is a huge thing as well. So I'd recommend starting with vision boards or the mood boards. You could collect inspiration photos, and that's anywhere, online. Again, we mentioned Pinterest. That's such a great place to find the things that you love. And once you kind of have an idea for each room, I would go through the budget again, come up with your shopping list, and then you kind of just go forward with making the purchases, staging the things in your house. And I think you mentioned the other day too that you're not tied to that exact layout. If you have the whole plan set up, it'll look great, but you can always tweak it once it's in your house. The whole live with it theory. Sometimes it might just not feel right where you put the side table. See how you live with it with a week on the other side, or arranging the room and then see how you feel about the room.
Right, exactly. I mean, you've gone through a lot of changes through the divorce process in general, but the reality is when it comes to space as well, sometimes things work and some things they just still don't. And so it's okay to make adjustments and changes, even if you kind of thought it was going to go one way, it might go another. And, when we talk about kind of setting up your space, because it's you get to make the choices and decisions. I mean, I don't even know how you would go about choosing, say, a color palette that reflects, my own personality. I mean, where would I start? Let alone, like, I have 2 boys, so they each have different personalities. How would I start helping them create, their own spaces as well?
Right. You can start again looking in your closet. Have your boys look in their closet. Do they know what their favorite colors are? If they don't, start looking through magazines, start looking at decor stores online, and you could just take notes. You could start writing down or ripping the page out. What color do they like the best? What colors do you gravitate to? And from there, you could kind of build, your own personal style. You can also Google things, which is huge in interior design, color psychology. And you can see maybe the boys are teenagers and they're a little bit older. So they have maybe more like of a navy, the brown color, black color. Or if they're a young kid, they might like the bright yellow, bright red, those kind of things. And ask them questions too, It's you and your kids are, their space is important in your home just as much as the rest of the house is important to you. So I think once you have that idea, that's where you could build, going to the store, getting the paint swatches, putting them on the wall, and seeing how your kids feel about it. And from there you go forward. And at the end, it's usually such a beautiful thing when the kids are so happy in their room it can make such a big difference too. If they, they have lots of clutter, you can't even sometimes see the walls and the other decor. So for sure, going back to the decluttering, that's a huge thing too.
Yeah, exactly. And the living with the color kind of thing by doing a swatch. And I'll tell you what, you could even get a small paint sample and paint the wall with a couple different colors, because the last thing you want to do is have your kid go, nah, I don't like it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go forward with the whole room. So let them live with it too. Make sure everyone is positive on the color.
Yeah, don't want to have to do that one over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on to kind of like, this has kind of been building, it's the home design projects, it's the personality, it's now, what are some of those essential elements for creating that cozy and inviting home?
Yeah, lighting is huge. Definitely at the end of the day, especially if when the kids are in bed, you want to sit, you want to relax. Having a table lamp is very nice, and I suggest getting a dimmable light, because at the end of the day, if you're busy, the kids are busy, you just want to relax. And in your kids' room as well, you don't want your kids having bright lights and they've been on their devices and their brain is still going there. So things that are softer furnishings, those comfy throw blankets,
Mhm.
fluffy pillows if you could get away with it. Maybe you have girls and they like more of the fluffy furry things. Candles are great. We're going into fall here in Chicago, so those very pleasing smells, the scents with the candles, all of this really attributes to a nice, cozy feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been talking this whole week about how it's your space. Do with it what
Mhm.
you want. And, if that is the candle thing, if that is the pillow thing, it doesn't matter. It's yours. So it
Right,
doesn't matter what other people think about your space. Do what you want to do with your own space and take control, because
right.
it's you.
You're paying the rent, you're paying the mortgage, you have to live there, you have to wake up, you need to go to sleep there. So it should, your home should be a reflection of everything you love and that makes you feel good.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. All right. Day 4 in the books. We got one more to go tomorrow. If you haven't been out and listened to the previous episodes of the interview with Gina, you're going to want to do that, because once again, she's been sharing some great information. Gina and I would like to thank you for joining us today on the Breaking Ties interview series. Should you have questions for her, her information's over in the description. Reach out to her. She's happy to answer any questions you might have. Now, divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, we will see you one more time tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Bye. See you soon.